Hello, ACTAA. As the summer draws to a close and we start to look towards a new school year, and before the worry and dread about not being prepared for parents, enduring a week of administrator plan PD, and the return to email demands without boundaries start to creep into our mind, I wanted to take a few moments to remind you that despite these initial worries, dreads, and anxieties, you are about to walk into a classroom ready to inspire the next generation of change makers and leaders in our state. I know this because that's what we do in our disciplines of communication and theater arts. I know that without you in your school, the students in your community would not have opportunities to learn how to express themselves, to communicate effectively, and how to engage into their communities. You don't have to think long to recall a moment when a student delivered their first speech or performance, or when for the first time you coached an anxious student through their introduction, or those moments when we get to watch a naturally gifted performer command the stage for their first audition. In every case, you're just not teaching a skill, but you're encouraging the next generation to discover their voice. And you are not alone in this work. Since 1936, when our association was reorganized as a speech and drama teachers organization, ACTAA and our members have been dedicated to advancing Arkansas through communication, debate, and theater arts, not just as an academic discipline, but as a vital life skill and transformative art form. This work continues today through every classroom lesson, every stage performance, and every competition hosted by one of our members across the state. Whether it's debate, forensics, acting, or public speaking, our mission remains clear: to provide students with a platform to positively and professionally formulate their independent ideas and to communicate those ideas respectfully and effectively. And you have a critical role in this work. 2 years ago, ACTAA adopted our current core values under the banner Speak, Think, Act Arkansas. Last fall, we took the next step by launching the ACTAA in Action Strategic Plan, our shared roadmap to ensure that those values come alive in meaningful ways. The plan is built on 4 action themes: reflect on our purpose, increase our impact, expand our voice, and increase our ability to adapt. Over the past year, we've made some real progress in each of these areas. We reflected on our purpose by strengthening new membership support, developing innovative mentorship pathways, and committing ourselves to the mission laid out in 1936 to unite schools, raise standards, and ensure speech and drama thrives across Arkansas. We increased our impact through development of a sponsorship packet, using not just for fundraising tool, but also as a storytelling piece to engage new partners and to secure resources to support our mission. We expanded our voice by launching the Arkansas Speech and Debate Month this past year, celebrating our state's rich tradition in communication education and amplifying the stories of the students, alumni, and educators that study has impacted. And we began work to increase our ability to adapt by collaborating as a statewide professional learning community to ensure that communication study curriculum remains relevant and responsive to the rapidly changing needs of Arkansas students and workforce through our advocacy efforts. But the work is not finished. Looking forward to 2025-2026 school year, our association has set 4 clear priorities. 1, on new member support, ensuring that every educator that joins ACTAA feels welcomed, resourced, and connected. Building strategic partnerships, expanding our network to allies and supporters to amplify the rich and sustainability in our work. Advocacy and public engagement, raise the awareness within our state leaders, parents, and communities about the transformative power of communication and theater education. And then finally, focus on the future of the curriculum, safeguarding and advancing communication studies, not so it's just a nice to have elective, but that it's a core necessity of every student's learning in Arkansas. Colleagues, the truth is clear. Communication education cannot be treated as a secondary subject. The Arkansas Department of Commerce's Workforce Report reminds us that 7 of the top 10 employable gaps directly relates to the skills that we teach, interpersonal communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and active listening, just to name a few. If we want Arkansas graduates to be prepared to lead, to contribute, and to thrive, then communication and theater education must be at the front and center of our school's curriculums. This is not just about preserving our programs or our jobs. It's about preparing a generation to be successful and to lead in a future fully engulfed in the communication economy. Our work and curriculum will prepare them to be leaders and practitioners in ethical communication in the world of misinformation and AI. Friends, as graduation requirements shift and the demands for concurrent and career tech paths grow, as pressures mount to reduce classroom hours, we must ensure that communication education is not crowded out, that our students deserve more than a fluff elective, that they deserve the tools to think critically, to speak confidently, and to act with integrity. The future of ACTAA and Arkansas depends on us, ACTAA, answering the call. So before you return to the classroom, I ask you to join me in recommitting ourselves to our important mission and our important discipline. Let us reflect on our purpose, let us increase our impact, let us expand our voice, and let us strengthen our ability to adapt in the future. Together, we can continue to inspire Arkansas to think, speak, and act for a brighter tomorrow.